go. How about I turn my microphone on? Alright, this is Wayne, picking up with part 4. Picking up with part 4. And we are going to be doing a couple things this episode. We need to get... Oh, what am I doing? Why am I doing walking? We can use the Lord Vessel now, War Between Bonfires. We're going to be doing the Catacombs first, with the Silver Knight Spear we got last time. Yes, and since I haven't uploaded the bonus part for the episode 3 yet, if you're wondering about the washing pole or giant katana we started off with, that will be there by the time I get all the episodes on YouTube. That was in the bonus episode. I tried it out near the end of it to see if the reach was worth the reach and speed were worth the lower damage. Katana they have good scaling with dex, but not the highest base damage, so the total isn't quite as high. You see, in the plus 10, it's about what, 250? So damage, not that great. Anyway, the reason why the Silver Knight Spear is so useful for what we're going to be dealing with. Oh, well, the wrong way. I need to find it. Is you see all those things on the bottom there, the auxiliary effects. For the most part, we've been playing around with bleed. Bleed on our end, poison on the enemies. And this one that we got in Londo is occult. You can see on the bottom little to the center there, that blacked out circle. That means it does bonus damage against deities or divine beings. Silver Knights, Ornstein, guys like that. However, this one has the other one, the white circle. That means divine. It does bonus damage against, well, you can't say undead, since we're all undead here in Lordran. But yeah, it's good against I guess the long dead would be the word for it. Skeletons, ghosts, stuff like that. So we're going to be using that. Now, we don't really need this for this part. Yeah. Poise. Oh, there we go. No, thrust. Oh, and before anything else, I should probably show this off. Or did I last time?
No, I'm fine. Well,
let's see real quick.
Wide awake.
Let's see what happens when we talk to him. And yeah, sometimes he'll just be taking a nap. Okay, we already showed off the Lord Vessel thing last time.
Farewell.
Yeah, normally he will take you down to the Lord Vessel Shrine. If the second you have it and talk to him, I showed you can just homeward bone, back out of there, go right back to Firelink, and he pretends it doesn't happen. Nice. Not quite enough to one-shot them, that's kind of annoying. Might have to use the R2 more. But yeah, so show of hands, if anybody else got to the Firelink Shrine the first time and promptly went to the graveyard, because hey, graveyards are normally a pretty safe place to fight stuff in RPGs. The enemies usually aren't too bad. Lots of undead usually aren't too difficult, and you got completely destroyed by these guys. Yeah, that was me. Okay, yeah, R2 will definitely do it. And two one-handed R1s. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will have to play with my inventory some when we get to, or my spell loadout some when we get to a bonfire, since I don't need most of the stuff. The Silver Knight Sword can be enchanted. Yeah, Silver Knight Sword can be enchanted, but the Spear cannot. It already has that bonus effect on it. Alright, come here, buddy. Come on. There we go. Deathcab's already in here. Did exactly that and got this Zweihander. Never fought the skeletons in here again. Yes. Yeah, you can run right past them all the way down to the catacombs where we're going. if you don't feel like fighting these guys. First time through the game, got stuck on in the catacombs. Yeah, just about. I can definitely understand that. Anybody who's ever gone through the second part of it, the Tomb of the Giants, you know, without the Lord Vessel, that is misery. Oh, and there I got stunlocked there. So even at high levels, high-ish levels with all this stuff, you can still get stunlocked and taken apart by those guys. Yeah. That is a drawback with spears too that I was having with those other guys, is they do not handle the differences in elevation well. Yeah, as I took the Master Key, while the Undead Dragon, all that stuff, yeah. Yeah, you really, I don't think you're supposed to take the Master Key your first time. Of course, there's no way to know that. So that's, there we go. Yeah, I likewise believed the lies about the tiny being's ring regenerating your health. So I went with that my first time through. No, actually, no, I knew better. And I went with the old witch's ring because I figured that would have some significance to it beyond the tiny amount that I actually did. Yeah, am I rushing for the rite of kindling? Well, not rushing. I had thought about that, to do that first. And because, rushing even without a lot of faith, a divine weapon just trivializes that part. Any divine weapon will do. Skeletons just aren't that bad. And so I had thought about that, but, to me, the rushing for the rite of kindling kind of strikes me as a cheesy strategy. So that's why I didn't do it. But yes, it would have made my life a lot easier. And that's that batch of skeletons done. And the Zweihander he mentioned is right here. With how long it takes the skeletons to rise, nothing keeps you from just starting the game, running over there and picking it up and then just running away, or letting them kill you. Either way, death is cheap in this game. And then you have a very strong Ultra Greatsword that's definitely meant to be later in the game that you can just pick up right at the start. And speaking of things, I think the Caduceus shield is over here. And that one's useful early on because it's a wooden shield. It's decent against lightning, and I believe pretty solid against magic too. It's a good one to take to the Moonlight Butterfly fight if you don't have anything better. Get married, buddy. There we are. Alright, into the catacombs we go. Now, I'm going to be, even though it doesn't really hold much of value for our build, I'm going to go ahead and show off the long way. I'm kind of treating this as a let's stream, kind of doing more of the let's play elements than just, rushing through it. And the first thing to show off, well, I can do this here. But yeah, the first thing to show off, if it will let me. Okay. He goes down. You notice how the bottom right corner, it doesn't change the souls. I basically didn't pick up any souls from him. That's because once you cross into the catacombs, all the skeletons there, and it also takes about 20 points fewer damage than the ones outside. Their stats are a little bit higher. Not tremendously, but a bit. It's noticeable. But yeah, the skeletons in here only stay dead if you kill them with a divine weapon, and that's why I pointed out the divine modifier on the Silver Knight Spear. It helps cancel out the fact that as a thrust weapon, it does less damage, to skeletons. Another fun thing too, as they're rising, is you can start the wind up of a delayed move like the R2, and then press the right stick in to lock onto them before it's completed. Oh, hello. I'm in the corner. That's not a good place to be. It will give me a chance to show off the difference in moveset here. The one-handed thing with the Silver Knight Spear has the same... I'll go ahead and heal up again. That is the same wide swing that the Silver Knights themselves do. Does a fair bit of damage, considering it's a swipe against a skeleton. And that time the souls pop up, confirming that they are dead. And in here we have the source of the reason they are rising. Necromancers use their skull lanterns to shoot fireballs at you, and they do not respawn. There are 5 of them. Each one of them controls a certain part of the catacombs, and the skeletons are attached to them, as it were. A Death Cab adds, in the original release, skeletons respawned in the graveyard as well. Were they attached to any of the necromancers, like this first guy, or were they just, coming back forever? I can't imagine it'd be much fun trying to kick them off the cliffs. And finally, send a little hallelujah chorus. 36 int means we can start attuning Soul Spear. Since we can't enchant the Silver Knight Spear, we're immediately going to tag that in. 4 casts for a lot of damage. Hidden Body, still useful. The second bonfire, for a reason all of you probably know pretty well, I'll be switching to Cast Light, but for now we're going to stick with this. The Necromancers also take the bonus damage from a divine effect. Okay. Oh, right. Almost forgot. Also in the Catacombs, checking your progress are these things. There are 4, I want to say, and they will move obstacles, they'll flip bridges, things like that. If you're taking the long way, you'll end up accessing all of them and making it easier to go around. But of course, since this game has very generous fall mechanics, it's not too hard to just find the places you can fall safely down and do progress that way. Hey, Black Spear, good to have you back. Got the game at release, the graveyard killing infinitely respawning skeletons with this Zweihander. Nice. Yeah, I didn't get this game at release. I got it... actually, I was inspired by a Geops LP, in 2012, I think that was. And got it about a year after it came out. But at the same time as Skyrim, because that was also around Christmas of 2012, right? Yeah, Necromancers panic and run away when you get close to them. We have an archer shooting at us, but there's not much point killing him, because he'll just come back as long as the Necromancer's still alive. So, let me do that. Is there one more? I thought there was one more in there. Okay, that's all of them. Now, the Necromancer himself is not, doesn't come back. You can kill him with anything. And I know there's one more in here. Oh, there's 2 more in here. Yeah, the wind-up you can see them doing is a riposte animation. So I'm going to wait for him to drop his guard. Well, or do it from far enough back that he can't riposte me. Lexer mentions he spedrun the game today. 52 minutes, wow. I am not much of a speedrunner, but that sounds pretty good. The fastest I've ever played a Souls game, it's either one, I think I could, not quite get the backstab, is I did Dark Souls 2 in about 10 hours to get all the way to try doing dragon PvP in that game. And obviously the Dragon Shrine is right at the end of the game. Alright, that is everything in this first area. I'm pretty sure anyway. So the next one, this is really easy to get yourself turned around. That will drop you back down to the start. That's where the archer was. This is progress. And we can't go that way. So we have to trigger these things. They explode in a pretty substantial radius. And yeah, enough to completely one-shot that skeleton. Of course, the floating skulls are not exactly divine effects here. So the skeletons will get right back up if one of them kills them. Oh, almost went off the edge. Alright. There we go. Oh, over his head. Yeah, that's one drawback to using a spear. Pillage body, hello. Oh, another one of their shields. Yeah, wooden shields tend to be pretty universal in statistics. They don't block 100%. Usually you get like 90 or so. They're solid again. They're pretty good against lightning. They're generally about 60%. And they're better against magic than generic metal shields. Not as good as specialty metal shields. The crest shield, 80%. I don't think any wooden shield gets that high. Friar John, hoping I go off the edge. Yeah, if you want deaths, if you're here for the Schadenfreude, you will get it. Death Cow, I think I can correct. I think I scoop you on this one. They do physical damage. If you have a high physical block and enough stability, you can tank the whole thing completely. This one, I'm going to go ahead and risk the fact that it's not going to kill them. I just want to get the skeletons out of the way so I can deal with the Necromancer. And that almost killed me. There we go. And one neat thing is if you kill... there he goes. One neat thing is if you kill the Necromancer before the skeletons finish getting up, they don't get back up. Okay, nothing there. It might be both physical and magic, but I'm pretty sure I stood firm with like Sif's or the Artorias Great Shield and tanked the whole thing. Like most enemies with shields, if you hit them such that it like chips against their block, they'll go ahead and drop the guard and attempt to counterattack you. So it's a good way to take advantage if you have the reach on them. Proud Knight. And yeah, I figure, yeah, walking down a little bit triggers those guys. That's one of the biggest things about getting used to the Catacombs. Where you go, that sets off the next batch of skeletons. Yeah. The Silver Knight Spear sounded like such a good idea in my head. I forgot about it constantly, well, going over their heads. Alright, there's 1, 2, and 3. Chugging through that Estus. But like I mentioned, there is a second bonfire in the Catacombs. I'm not feeling too stressed about it. Alright, we got, oh, like the area of effect attacks with a dead angle, yeah. Oh, down he goes. Never really got into spears. I love pole arms. Friar John tosses in. Yeah. One of my biggest disappointments in Dark Souls 2 was nerfing all the halberds with that the critical hit mechanics from Demon Souls. It was a terrible fit. It's so disappointing. Yeah, I love those things. Divine Lucerne, amazing for this area. Yeah, it doesn't the Lucerne hammer do thrust damage though? I mean, if you've got the Leo ring, there is that. Okay, quick break there. This will take you to the blacksmith that does fire and chaos. I did get the Chaos Ember on the first part of Demon Ruins, so didn't get any further down. Eventually, we'll have to go down there anyway, you know, to unlock the area. Otherwise, it's blocked from the other side. In a pretty cool way. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get the other bonfire first, so I can warp back to it. And then we're going to do this. And then we go around this way. Zero Fight chips in. I great axe my way through most of the game. Not objectively good, but satisfying. Yes, very satisfying. Speaking of bonfires, here we are. Another invisible wall, of course. We'll do this first. Counters. It does, with the moveset on the Lucerne, it's ridiculously easy to handle the crowns. Yes, that's true. That is true. I love the moveset on it. Have you already done Sif? John asks. Yes, I did. The second video. Yeah, we took care of him early. I was already in the forest, and the guys were saying, "Hey, you know, while you're here, skip the Crest of Artorias. Just go in the back way," and I did. I think I had a Holy Great Club for this part. Yeah, Zero Fight. Yeah, any kind of divine strike weapon except the fist weapons. They just don't do enough damage to make the split scaling worth it. Okay, this part will take you further into the Catacombs. Like I mentioned, we're going to do the blacksmith first and then head right back. So that means we had to clear a couple more skeletons, but yeah, it's worth it. Alright, get those guys. And this time, I'm just going to go right down. Oh, hello. You know you want to do it. Yep. They change invisible wall mechanics. Yeah, Friar. Yeah, I think I would agree. That's the biggest change. Like the wrong one. Yeah, you can't just walk off. I think rolling actually risks you hitting that ledge and deflecting you. So you want to walk off to get this one, and then roll off to get this one. And usually there's a skeleton that fell down and is still alive right there. Yep, there he is. So we're just going to go ahead and say hi. And down we go.
Be gone with you. You'll spoil my focus.
That is a cool guy. Death Cab, easy mode for this area, grabbing the Occult Club from Anor Londo. Yeah, that works. I happen to prefer the Silver Knight Spear, largely for this part here, actually. Yeah, to make it easier for dealing with these guys. Which I think we'll do later. So, right back to the bonfire we were just at. And now I'm gonna go the other way. Yeah, New Game Plus, you stole his hat. Yeah, if you... it's not shown on his model, which is a shame. But, yeah, Vamos has a... has, like, some kind of, Viking, like, opera style. Big golden hat. It's pretty great. Actually, your favorite person in the game character is Gwen. Yeah, there's a lot of gravitas for Gwen, as there should be. It is pretty neat how FromSoft managed to pull off the whole, sympathetic villain kind of thing without ever having a single line of dialogue from him. Okay. This area, I was starting to say there's nothing in this area that interests me, because at the end of it is the Tranquil Walk of Peace Miracle, which we can't use. But I had forgotten that there is, in fact, something we do want from here. So we're not going to bother with the archers. We're going to ignore them. Either they're not ignoring us. And deal with this guy. Without giving him a fair fight, of course. That's what we want. The Covenant with Gwendolyn and all that stuff requires this ring. So you want that. And this is the way it leads to one more Necromancer. And the in the miracle I mentioned drops you back off up above. We need none of that stuff, so we're not gonna do it. Yeah, he'll just come right back up, but not our problem. Zerified, I wondered, did he have the limb beard while alive? I like to think that as a skeleton, he decided he had to have his beard back. So he thought of the best way to do it. Oh, wrong way. I have to go this way. And that's the closest, that's the best he could do. If you're not careful, the archer can hit you, and 1 or 2 hits on the ladder will knock you off of it. Like that, you'll stagger and eventually fall off. But yeah, it wasn't a problem here. That is one heck of a sniper, man. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and bait those explosions. Get out of the way. You don't really need, and this is the first area where it's really obvious you don't need to go this far around. Oh, hello. You don't really need to do any of this stuff. You can just drop down from up above. Remember when I showed when I was walking back along from the bonfire, and there are those couple little outcroppings. Yeah, you can drop onto those and then drop over here. This one is the easiest one. You can drop down from above, land on this, drop down there. Hello. And that's a shortcut to the... well, not a shortcut even. That's the way you have to go to get an NPC. So I'll go ahead and show that off when we're ready to fight the boss. In the distance, in a very odd shadow effect, you can see another Titanite demon. I think he has the shortest aggro range of any enemy in the entire game. I mean, look at this. Just, I can almost put him in shot. Also, really short lock-on range. Yeah, nice fake out there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and duck around the corner. He's going to keep trying to shoot lightning at us. So it'll give me a minute to switch rings. And he also, yeah, he doesn't take him very long at all to give up on you. Soul Spear, first time showing it off. 500 damage against an enemy that's pretty solid magic resistance. For comparison, that's 501 shot. Over double the damage of this guy. Yeah, it is a huge upgrade in your offensive firepower. Unfortunately, as you notice, you only get 4 casts. 6 if you're willing to risk the half HP to use the Crown of Dusk. I am not. Okay. This way goes to a Black Knight and a couple archers and the last Necromancer. We can go back up from the bottom, so we're not going to do that just yet. And I'm going to show off one of the only things in the entire game I had to look at a walkthrough to find, and that is this. See that down there? This is where an NPC summon sign is if I was human. It's right there. It's a reference, you know, it's humorous enough. The real allure here is drop down. And this is what really got. I could not figure out how to get this for the life of me. Yeah, this is the cleric starting set with a hat that you actually don't get if you choose a cleric. And you get the mace. You also get to deal with these guys. I like locking the camera around to kind of get a good shot on them. Yep, one hit. I actually did get. I don't need to bother farming these guys. If you're going to, they are weaker than the ones in the Painted World, and they're also worth fewer souls, of course. I did get lucky and get one of these my first pass through the Painted World. And he mentioned, how did I get the Dragonbone Fist? That is in the bonus episode, of episode 3. I showed off some of the stuff I didn't have time to do in the stream, like grinding for the soul, because the boss weapons are 10,000 souls a pop. I went ahead and did some co-op with Ornstein and Smoth, a bunch of stuff that would take too long on the stream. So I did some of that, and it'll be on YouTube. Yeah, since we won't have the strength to ever use the other one, Oh, how did you get the Dragon Fist? Oh, that was what you meant. That's the boss weapon for the Iron Golem soul. If I had been using Hidden Body, this makes this part very easy. They basically won't approach you. All right, is that all of them? No, there's one left. Let's make sure there's only one left. Okay, only one left. Good. And you. And you. There we go. But yeah, the big problem, and my thought, which leads into the big problem issue, my thought for the Dragonbone Fist was that we won't have the strength to use the Golem Axe. And it also uses unlike every other boss weapon, it uses Dragon Scales to upgrade instead of Demon Titanite. So it's a good thing to have as a backup plan. And I'm probably going to end up using Priscilla's Dagger as my dragon weapon, since that fits our deck situation, and love will bleed better. There we go, left himself open a little too long with that swing. And a White Titanite chunk. White Titanite is for Divine and Occult weapons, the highest levels of those. Cardo, welcome back. Iron Golem Soul can be used with the axe, yeah, or the fist weapon, right. And that really shows off the big weakness with this game's scaling system, as opposed to Dark Souls 2's. Let's use this one. In 2... Okay, so, my spear is hitting the wall. That's what's causing the swing to fail. Yeah, in Dark Souls 2, the scaling is independent. It's the same amount as whatever the ranking is. It's a multiplier on your bonus. In this one, it's a coefficient based on the strength of the weapon. So a higher stat weapon just gets more scaling. A higher base damage, I should say, not higher stat, but higher base damage weapon just gets more scaling than a lower one. Okay. Alright. Everybody has to make this a joke. Hardest boss in Souls franchise coming up. Oh yeah. Be ready for it. I'm so intimidated, I'm going to pop a humanity here. I think this may actually carry over because I'm not walking through a fog door. Let's find out. Black Spear getting Dark Souls 2 for Christmas. Hey, better late than never, man. Are you going to hold off for the PS4 version or the remake or port or whatever it is? Or are you just going to go ahead and get it late? Oh, I do keep them. Awesome. And that was Pinmeal. The Rite of Kindling, as we talked about earlier, is used to increase the Estus limit that you have. It each time you apply an additional humanity, which we just got one of, it will increase your limit by 5. So eventually you can donate 3 humanity to a bonfire, get up to 20 Estus flasks. We'll probably end up doing that at the first Tomb of the Giants bonfire. It's just it's a slog. It really is. And there's a lot of tough enemies. Speaking of tough enemies, the first thing we're going to do is use our new Homeward Bone, hop right back to the bonfire, and change our spells, and then go into the tomb. We can't go all the way in there. That's one of the 3 areas that's locked with the Golden Fog. So yeah, we can't actually finish it, but we can get some distance. All right, we're going to switch from. Yeah, these are actually no. Yeah, we use both to get there. Yeah. I have 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, this gives me a good chance. What the ring we just picked up does, in addition to unlocking access to that covenant, is give you one additional attunement slot. So we don't have to choose. Cast light. Alright, back down we go. Alright, and then I think we go, we go in here. And over here. In here. Get that. Drop down. And presto, right back here. And go down like we did before. This time we can go down the other way. There was another ledge here. All right, buddy. Yeah, if we can, if they're too close, if the enemies are too close, the hidden body won't work. So we'll go and try that again. This should keep the bone meal skeletons from. Okay, yeah. He started walking toward the noise and then doesn't see us and then gives up. That's what I was hoping that would happen. All it takes is one to get you in the corner and kill you. And that's one of the advantages of having sorcery as a backup plan. You can have the utility to deal with things like that. All right. As for why we need cast light, you're about to find out if you don't already know. Yes. Yeah, the Tomb of the Giants is dark. Luckily, cast light lasts, I want to say 3 minutes per cast. It lasts for a while. And it gives us a pretty decent radius of illumination, too. I think one Soul Spear should do it. If not, switch weapon, switch grip. Yeah, it does. Good. The big skeletons are not to play around with in this area. I think we can overlook one or two. Yeah, you see the glowing eyes there? And one quick cast, and then another one should probably finish him off. Drat. So he's still alive, and now he's been alerted to us. Oh. Oh, I'm kind of... Nope. That was weird. Yeah, we'll be getting to those pretty soon. I always thought they were more skeletal apes than dogs, but I can definitely see where you're coming from, since they are on all fours and everything. And what kind of is obnoxious about them, and hopefully won't get to show it off with the magic we have. We'll be able to kill them at a distance. But yeah, they act like pretty much nothing else in this game. You know, those. Yeah. Well, we'll be seeing them soon enough. I can get more into it then. So once again, let's get to this guy. Soul Spear you. And this time, I need to go down here anyway to get my bloodstain. Yeah. See if I can get him for plunging attack. Yes, excellent. You notice the damage went down to 91, even though it's still a divine weapon on these guys. This is the break point at which those giant skeletons have a high enough defense that it's overwhelming the bonus that... the bonus against thrust, I should amend. That's overwhelming the bonus we get from divine. If you get close enough, you can actually see the eyes of the archer, and if you have a bow yourself, you can kind of see where he's shooting from and snipe him back. It's pretty cool. Fortunately, we are not equipped to do that. That's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and just head over here, duck off to the side. Darn it. If you hold to the side, that's how you get that item. It's just a soul, though. Alright, Are they going to keep coming this way? Doesn't look like it. This fine, trustworthy-looking individual is an NPC. We'll talk to him as soon as we get to the bonfire. And this is the bonfire I mentioned. We're going to be using this one a lot, and luckily it is workable. So we're going to go ahead and kindle it all the way with our new Rite of Kindling. Kindle 1 for 10 Estus. Black Spear, I'm very curious about the lore behind the dogs. Did Nito get lonely and kidnap one? Hey, Nito needs a dog too, man. Man's best friend. Gordo, bless you. Yes. And since we have the souls for it, let's go ahead and level up. I'm gonna start putting more back into Dex at this point, since our next boss, the next boss actually, the next boss doesn't care much about sorcery. He has very high magic defense. So I have a strategy in mind, but we're going to be needing to be doing solid physical damage on top of that. So I'm going to start putting points back into Dex. Attunement is also good, but really 4 spell slots will do us for now. We will upgrade that once we get to the next breakpoint, but the next merchant breakpoint, I should say, and we start getting more spells. And I will go ahead and show off the event here, plus the thing that these guys have been talking about. So if you head over this way, you notice the cast light I cast is still going. Yeah, it lasts a long time. It makes it very nice. These guys, nice doggy. Yeah, that's what they do. Like all dogs, they know to chase. But they are worth quite a few souls. Okay. Back to this.
Day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the Catacombs?
Zane, oh, it's the good Dark Souls. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad to have you. We look reasonably sane. We do. He asks if we're a cleric. We're going to go and lie to him. It changes what he does. It changes this dialogue. We're not at all a cleric. We have nothing to do with this filthy, the filthy divine magic and miracles. We are all for sorcery.
I'll give you first pick. Well, go on, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
Nothing at all suspicious about the malevolent chuckle. It was all so avoidable.
You've got what you deserve. You damn clerics. You're worse than maggots. You must be loaded. I'll strip your corpse clean.
Blackspear finishes that up with no offense to dog lovers. He hates the dogs here. Hey, no offense taken. Most people don't own dogs that are 7 feet long and made out of that are animate skeletons. Oh, there goes our spell. That's why we kept everything attuned. So we're going to go and recast it. Okay, there are 2 things going on in this area. The first one is an NPC. You might remember her from Firelink. We'll talk to her as soon as we're done with this. Once you go up here to grab this shiny, it spawns in a bunch of these bone towers. I think there's 4 of them down here. We're actually going to fight them on purpose because they have a chance of dropping white titanite chunks, which we might end up using. Probably not, but it doesn't hurt to have a couple. The one fun thing about the Silver Knight Spear is it actually does outrange them. Not by much, as it happens, but... Okay. Yeah, I want them to start their animation so that I can get the counterattack damage. Oh, it doesn't apply. Okay. That's interesting. Zane, I love this game so much. I know it like the back of my hand. They also... Oh, they can drop slabs. Okay. That I didn't know. The enemy I know that drop has a rare drop I've never actually gotten are the butterflies in the crystal caves. They can drop blue titanite slabs. I have never had it happen.
Please be careful.
Granted, I haven't spent too much time farming them because that's madness, but apparently they can, and I've never gotten to work.
Who would let such strong spirits be hollowed so? Heavens, is there nothing at all to be done?
She gives us fair warning that her bodyguards have gone hollow. I guess the shame of being betrayed by Petrus was too much for them. We're going to go ahead and get this ready. It's important, as always, to turn a 2-on-1 into a 1-on-1 as quickly as you can. Like so. Interestingly, they retain their ability to cast spells, cast miracles. He'll cast Replenishment to give a regeneration effect, and I'm pretty sure he can cast Wrath of the Gods, too. Once they're dead, you can talk to Rhea again.
You banished those two hollows, did you?
Don't even bother with the butterflies. Yeah.
I'm certain that
I was actually trying to do that on a run where I was doing a similar thing with the Dex and Magic to try out the casting speed. So with the Hunter's Black or the Pharaoh's Black Bow, it wasn't hard to kill them, like 2 shots, no problem. But yeah, there's only 3 of them. It takes a couple minutes to fight them because they're so far away. There's that chance of falling off and dying because it's the Crystal Caves, and yeah, there's a lot of points for it. And yeah, on top of that, as he points out, you're turning a boss fight into a giant moth. There's a random enemy. There's no point for that. One Soul Spear should deal with this. Yep. We're going right back to a bonfire, so I'm feeling a little free with these things. 1, 2. I didn't get any drops from those guys. That's kind of a letdown. Yeah, this is one thing I've always been kind of tempted to... They're talking about Artorias in the DLC. I do like the DLC, but the problem is, having seen it with a couple LPs now, it doesn't seem like something I would like as much. As I'm sure it's fun, and it is more Dark Souls. Never anything wrong with that. But yeah, I feel like I've seen it all at this point, Plus, it's still, I think, $10-15 or whatever it is on PSN. That's a little frustrating. Okay, once you're done with all that, you can talk to Patches again.
How did you... You weren't supposed to survive that. No matter. I'll settle this once and for all. You lousy self-righteous cleric.
Now, normally, he gives you a chance to make nice with him. What happens if you admit to being a cleric is he'll just attack you instead. I think you can get forgiven by Oswald to remove it, I think. Oh. Well, never mind. I was trying to get some distance from him and homeward, but yeah. Okay, Patches is still hostile. Any of you guys know off the top of your head if... so I'm thinking that probably all you need to do... Oh, here we go. He's probably going to take the long way around. Okay, we're just going to warp out. Yeah, do any of you guys know off the top of your heads if you can... If you get forgiven, does that take care of Patches, or is it just a matter of once you take out the next boss, that it just moves on to the next event. Because I know he pops up in Firelink once we're done with Nito. Regardless, that's the most we can do here for now. So we're going to go back to Firelink. Forgiven clears all anger. Yeah, I know that'll make him peaceful again until we talk again. I don't mess with forgiveness that much. Yeah, I know that'll make him peaceful now, but I'm not sure if that will enable him to pop up later. Because the last time I did the dialogue for the whole cleric thing, I just killed him. And I know I might want him available as a merchant later. Okay. Well, the next thing we need to do is back in New Londo, which means we'll need to reset our spells. We're going to want to be... There are basically two ways of doing this. You either want to go as light as possible, keep distance, use magic and everything, or you want to go as heavy as possible. And just you go with Havel's armor with the stone armor or something, and just like basically slam through these guys. We're going to do the former first. We're going to go light. And that means we're going to want... This loadout's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I think this will work. And we're going to go and stick with the Silver Knight Spear, because we're going to be fighting ghosts, if you remember them from the first episode, where we got the Firekeeper soul. Yeah, we'll be fighting a lot of those things. So I think we'll just go with this.